Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things lifestyle and motherhood. I'm Ashley and I have a little boy named Cinco. He's asleep right now. If you just came to see Cinco, I will insert clips and all that jazz, so you'll see him. But anyways, I wanted to do a video on must-haves for your from that 6 to 9 month range. If you're anything like me, you just kind of want to buy everything for your kids, have everything that they need. But these are things that helped me and Cinco out and just made our lives just a little bit easier. I have my list here, so if you see me kind of looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But I separated things by safety, food, activities, and just miscellaneous things. Little hot buttons that can get you through that 6 to 9 month range, because that's such a fun range. Anyhow, let's get started. First thing is safety. Obviously, from the 6 to 9 month range, your kid is moving and grooving, like I say. They are crawling, they're scooting, or they're they're just starting to kind of get into everything, learning the house, learning so much about themselves, really. So the first thing you're gonna need is a baby gate. If you're anything like me, I thought all baby gates were pretty much the same. They're not. So we end up getting a gate from Regalo, I'm not sure. Anyhow, I went to Walmart and I said, let me get a baby gate. And I thought, getting one that's bolted into the wall is best, which it could be, but for our situation, we're in a townhome, so we needed a baby gate for stairs. So the one that you could bolt into the wall, we didn't want to bolt it into the baseboard. So we took that one back and got another one that uses pressure to get on the wall, and it's very sturdy, and basically the screws kind of pressure against the wall and just kind of stay in place. But not only does it stay in place, there's another latch up top that adults can use to push the button, open the gate, so we can easily get through and navigate. What's nice about these gates is that there's also a latch at the bottom for extra security, because now that Cinco loves to pull himself up, he likes to shake the gate. So with that extra secure latch at the bottom, he cannot move that gate. It's not going anywhere. And so I think that brand of gate, I think it was like 29 or 39 bucks. Very essential, what you'll need. Next, what you'll need is some outlet plugs. I use them all, but I don't know what it is about kids. Once they start moving, they find a cord and they like to put things into the outlets. So that was essential. It was like 36 outlet plugs for $3, $4, something like that. Those were kind of the things we needed quickly, because we were procrastinators and we were like, oh, we're okay. He's not gonna crawl. He's not crawling yet. He's kind of slow to crawl. He woke up one day and said, I'm going. I'm crawling. I know this house. I'm moving and grooving. So if you're anything like us, you need to plan. And also the cabinet, I don't know what they're called because we don't have them yet, but the cabinet, I don't know what they're called. Anyhow, we don't have them yet. We're planning on moving, so we didn't want to start sticking them on cabinets and then having to take them off and rebuy them and put them on the cabinets. Cinco's not too interested in the kitchen yet. I think it's the setup of our house. He kind of just likes to stay in the living room area, so he doesn't venture off to the kitchen and open up the cabinets, which is a blessing for us. But I know other kids do like to do that, so probably isn't essential. It's just something we haven't needed yet. But anyways, now to the fun stuff. Safety's out the way. Let's get to the fun stuff. Food. 6 to 9 months, they're just starting to eat solids. It's so much fun, and it's also very, very messy. So first thing I would say, obviously you would need a high chair. On my registry, I put, and probably, I don't know how much that high chair costs, 60, 70 bucks. Nice high chair, was very nice. It had the straps at the top, it was cloth, it was fancy. You don't need any of that it's harder to clean, and Cinco's a little guy, so those straps that came here, it was kind of suffocating him. So I got a recommendation from one of my friends. Why don't you get this $15 IKEA high chair? It's all plastic, and they strap right here at the bottom. Easy to clean, and that has been savior. We use that high chair. He gets spaghetti sauce, all kinds of foods all over the high chair, and we can easily clean it. I mean, you need a high chair that you don't have to put in the washer. You don't have to. You can easily, we spray it down with some spray, and we wipe it down after every meal, because the high chair is white. It turns pretty much red or any color of what we're eating after he eats it. So don't spend a lot of money on a high chair. Get nice practical one, and that high chair looks a little uncomfortable, but they have the inserts like on Amazon to get an inflatable pillow, and you can put a cloth insert in it, and if your kid's like mine, he's a little guy, so putting an insert in there kind of makes him a little bit more comfortable. But simplest is probably best when it comes to a high chair. I just didn't know, as a first time parent, you don't know what you don't know. So simplest is best. But with that being said, a high chair, you probably are gonna need a plastic mat that goes under the high chair, because they like to chuck the food, they kind of just throw it, they spit it, they do all things what they can do with the food. So if you have carpet, tile, anything you need to protect, or if you don't want to protect it, that's fine, but a plastic mat that goes under the high chair, it's not that cute. I mean, they have cute ones, but we just got a plastic one because where we don't sit in our dining room to eat dinner. We sit at a bar area, so it's not really ideal. So we just got a plastic mat. There's cuter ones, but when he spills his spaghetti sauce, when he spills his macaroni or something like that, it doesn't get into the carpet, because we still have carpet here. It just goes right on that plastic mat, and Coco eats it right on up. So that's pretty much a savior. Also, with food, you're going to need a bib. First, I have the bibs here. I got a Target bib. When he turned 4 months, I was like, oh my gosh, he's ready to eat food. Let's get a bib. Silicone bibs are the best. And you need a little, what's this called? A pocket. When I first got the bib, I got one that kind of, you put the little, notch in the hole, and you have a bib. Great. But when that baby starts getting about 7-8 months, and they start, these weren't it. I couldn't. Cinco's hair would get caught in it. I don't know where he gets that hair from, because, I buy my hair. But I don't know where. I don't know. And his daddy's bald, so anyhow, these little notches would get caught in his hair. So, as great as this was, I found a better bib on YouTube, of course, and it's Velcro. What's this brand? OXO. It is, I don't know what fabric this is at the top, but it also has that silicone pouch at the bottom, which is great, because you think they ate all their food and it ends up in the pouch. So, I recommend a Velcro bib, just because it's easy to put on, take off. We roll in there, easy to roll up, and put it in the diaper bag and take it to a restaurant and things like that. So I can easily just, when we go to the restaurant, nice and easy peasy. When it comes to other foods, also you're gonna need a suction plate. When we first started feeding Cinco, I just got a bunch of stuff from Target, and I said, let's do it. So we got a suction plate from Newbie, N-U-B-Y, and it had two little dividers, I should say, and it suctioned to the high chair. It was great. Cinco can pull it off, it's totally fine. But now that we feed him more types of food, we don't just feed him, 2 things. I usually try to feed him a protein, some type of grain, noodle, whatever, and a fruit. So he has 3 different pockets. So I had to get new plates from Amazon that had the 3 little compartments, and they suction to the high chair. So you're gonna need a plate that suctions to a high chair, because they will lift it, they will throw it, they do a lot when it comes to food. Also, when it comes to food, you're gonna need utensils. There's so many out there. When I first went to Target and I was just like, oh my gosh, he's 4 months, he's gonna start purees, I'm just gonna get whatever. And these they look nice. They had the metal, adult forks. I was like, these are great. They don't need these. I mean, you dip it in hot and it tells you that it's too hot, but I mean, when something's too hot for a baby. I don't know. I think, and then there's no little hook for them. These maybe will last you a month or 2, but then they start wanting to, grab the spoon themselves and gum it and all that stuff. And I just feel like the metal is a little too rough for them. So then we tried to upgrade, and we got these silicone ones, which they're okay. And then I was like, oh, we need something so if he wants to feed himself, because we're doing the baby-led weaning method, that he can, hold and feed himself and not choke.
Ryan Little.
These, he can't really grab, and he has tiny hands. So, and sometimes, if we're giving him a spoonful of yogurt and we say feed you, we may want to jump in and help him a little bit. These are hard for adults to hold, and no. These were pretty good. They're 100%, they're rubber all throughout. So if Cinco wanted to grab it and feed himself, he could. I guess there is the scare that he could gag himself, but I don't think he does. These were good. And then I recently bought these fork and spoon set from Target. They're the Baby brand. It's a spoon and a fork. They're very cute too. Look how cute they are. Anyhow, these are the best. It gives you the best of all those worlds that I just spoke about. These are the best. So when he's eating like a pasta, we can, put it on the fork for him and kind of leave it, and he'll grab it and try to eat it himself. And it won't go too far. That gag, the gag scare doesn't really exist when it comes to this. And they're nicely curved. So it's a good for them to try to hold and, feed themselves. I'm trying to act like I'm trying to feed myself. But anyhow, these are probably the best. You could start these at 4 months and do away with all these other spoons that I bought. So, I mean, save yourself a little bit of money, because these were probably $5 and these were probably $5 and $5. I mean, everything adds up. So save yourself a little bit of money. Also, when it comes to food, a sippy cup. You're going to need a sippy cup for that 6 to 9 month range. I was kind of against the sippy cups just because I've done some research, and I'm sure you guys have too, where babies don't really need sippy cups. They could learn to drink from an open cup, and life goes on. It's better for their teeth, better for their speech, and better for all of that, to just drink out of an open cup.
Ryan Little.
It's exhausting trying to teach a baby to drink from an open cup. I mean, Cinco loves an open cup. He loves to make a mess with an open cup, but I'm tired. Every time I give him an open cup, I have to change his clothes, use a towel, wipe him down. So the best alternative I found is this Munchkin 360 cup. It's a sippy cup, and it's magic. There's there water in here? There's water in here. Where it doesn't spill from the bottom. They're learned how to hold from the handles, and this whole rim is like this magic, I don't know, this magic spout, if you will. And once their lips kind of suck right here, they can get whatever liquid you put in there, and they can easily drink from it. I've tried all kinds of sippy cups, and honestly, this was the best. 4 months or 6 months, we tried it, and he just didn't know what to do. He would just bang it against the table, and I was like, oh my gosh, he doesn't know how to do it. It honestly took a couple months for him to figure out to pick it up with both hands and lean back and drink. But I think this is a good alternative to the parents that don't want to use, your traditional sippy cups where you lean from a bottle, and they have the kind of bottle type sippy cups, and then they have the, I don't know, I honestly don't know, the other types of sippy cups. I think this is a great alternative because you can give whatever they want, and they can kind of bang it, slang it, throw it, do everything they want to do with it, and nothing will come out of it. But they're still learning to use those same muscles that they would from an open cup. I know when they get a little bit older, they have the same cup without the handle, so then they'll just kind of drink like this. So that's what we plan on doing. But this is a great cup. Cinco's able to get a lot of liquid out of here, and I don't feel like I'm compromising like the teeth, the speech, and all of that with the sippy cup. So that's that. Another thing I think would be helpful, random. This looks industrial, I know. It's not a toy. It's a crinkle cutter. So when Cinco turned obviously 6 months, or I think 5 months maybe, we were giving him avocado, sweet potato, things like that. And with his grip just not being quite developed at that point yet, it was hard for him to pick up those slimy foods, pick up avocado, pick up just things like, just things that he just couldn't grab it. So with the crinkle cutter, I would cut potatoes, I would cut avocado, and it had those ridges where it had the grooves, so he was able to situate his hands and pick up his food on its own. So this is great for those moms that are giving, solid food to the babies very young, like at 6 months, and giving like pieces of avocado that are, they're good size, and you really want them to enjoy it, but they're just like babies are getting frustrated because they can't pick it up because it just slides right through their hands. This was a good tool to use. I don't use it quite as much anymore because Cinco finally got his little pincer grasp together, so we don't really need this, but it was probably $5, I think. And it was very useful in the time where we would, make the cuts of foods probably this long so he can grab it and eat it and put it in his mouth. This was very, very helpful during that time frame. And lastly, when it comes to food, all that drinking, all that jazz, puffs. Baby love puffs. There's all I can say about it. That's a necessity. That's an essential. When we go out to eat and Cinco's like, we just put a little cup of puffs and he's like, ooh, eats it. You will need all the puffs in the world. They don't give the baby much nutritional value, but I mean, sometimes they like a little chip. Don't we like a little chip? I mean, they have different flavors, sweet potato, and they say they have all these vegetables in it, but at the end of the day, it's chip. But you're gonna need them. So we put some in a Ziploc bag, zip it up, and throw them in his diaper bag, and we leave him in his diaper bag for quite a bit of time. So whenever we're out and he's just getting a little frustrated, or he's bored, we'll give him a puff and he'll eat it, and all is right in the world. So I think you're gonna need some puffs. We get the brand from Happy Baby. They're like little spirally Cheerios. They're so cute, but they're good too. I've tried them. But you're going to need puffs. So that pretty much wraps up food, drinks, anything you need for that. Activities. So like I said, from that 6 to 9 month range, your kid is probably moving, grooving, just getting into everything. They're just so much fun. They're a blast at this age, but you just don't know what to do with them, right? So first thing I would say is essential is we use an activity center, and there's so many activity centers out there. I decided on the Even Flow. I'm horrible with names. Jesus. Even Flow activity center, and it has wood legs because I think it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Is that what they say on the YouTube world? Aesthetically pleasing. Than just your all plastic ones. But it's nice because they can kind of, jump, they can turn around, they can play with different toys, and hopefully I can have a clip here that I can show you guys. But they love he can just stand and just play around. I probably won't get a walker. I don't think they're useful. I think he will get into more things that he doesn't need to get into. That's a personal preference, but I know that a lot of parents love to get walkers. That's just something that I probably won't get. However, we are moving in the next couple weeks, and since we'll finally be on one level, we'll be in a one level home, I do plan on getting him one of those push walkers. I don't know if it's a walker, but he can push himself against it instead of just kind of plopping him in and he can just walk around. I think that might be a little bit more useful, but that's a personal preference. But the activity center, like you're in the kitchen and you're like, oh, I just need to get this done real quick. You can pop them in the activity center. They can kind of play with the toys around, and they can turn themselves around. They can jump. They can do all kinds of things, just like a walker. But he can't just move across the house because babies learn how to pull themselves up and walk and all that stuff just with their surroundings. I personally don't think they need a walker, but girl, do what you want to do. Another toy I would say that Cinco loves are these activity balls. Loves them. And I put them in a nice basket so he can pull them and kind of learn like, oh, I can get my own toys and do all that. But not just like regular old, just, I guess, balls. But they're all different colors and they're all different type of textures, I guess. So like there's these, and then there's a fuzzy ball, and then they have these with the little prongs or whatever. But I will say, when Cinco turned about 6 months, that's when everything was going in his mouth, I think. So he would take a ball and plop it in his mouth, like plop these little prongs in his mouth. Now I think he has he starts feeling them, and he's like, oh my gosh, they're different things. So he likes to play, I don't know if he does it on purpose, but he'll roll it to me and I'll roll it to him back. But honestly, you don't need all those fancy schmancy toys. They don't need all of that crap. I didn't know, so I just started buying a bunch of stuff, and babies are easily abused. So, and then we got this ball. It came in a kit from Lovery, which is a subscription service, and I bought the first 2 subscriptions or whatever. But he loves this ball now because it's soft and you can wash it, which is nice. I can just throw it in the washing machine and it washes, but he can easily get into the grooves and kind of pick it up. So this is a nice one too. It's nice and soft. But that's pretty much it when it comes to his sensory balls. Another random toy he loves that's not expensive at all, these little links. And these were a gift from one of my friends. She had extra links. These are the links that you can put on like an activity center, and you can link another toy on it. She had these, and so I was like, oh yeah, I could use these. I ended up I hooked them on his car seat and had it dangle like this, and Cinco loves them, still does. They're just because, like I said, babies, their crest isn't there yet, but since these are so thin, Cinco can easily grab it. He can easily put it in his mouth. They're easy to clean. I mean, these are the best, and I think these are like $5, and they're not necessarily a toy. It's more of a thing to add toys to, but Cinco uses this as a toy, and we love it. We didn't put all all that stuff on his car seat. We just, honestly, I still do, hook these to his car seat handle, and he just plays with them and puts them in his mouth. I have a few of these in his bathtub, and he just puts them in his mouth, and he loves to play with them. They're easy peasy. No need to spend all this money. In that same breath, I will say, we did get him this little toy. And this is the Crawl With Me toy. It's a little pricey for a toy. I think it's like 24 bucks, something like that. But I thought it was so cute, and Cinco loved it. I will say, there's 2 pieces, and there's 2 different, 2 different modes. So basically they have a beginner mode and an advanced crawler mode. So the beginner mode are for your babies that are kind of barely crawling or just trying to get their footsteps. So the crawler is it knows where it hits a wall. It's very intuitive in that way. So it'll start to like move a little bit, and it'll move slower with the beginner crawl. And basically the baby has to try to catch it. And once it takes this little bumblebee off, it's like, oh my God, you took it off. So it'll go do 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 do, and it'll do a whole little dance. And so it's very motivating for the baby to continue to try to chase after this little set, right? We kind of loved this. We have carpet and we have hardwood in the rest of the house. So when we put this on advanced mode on the hardwood, when Cinco was like pretty much a crawler, we put that on that thing and move, and Cinco would try to grab it, and once he grabbed it, he would take the bumblebee off and play with the bumblebee. So it was a nice little surprise to him when he finally got to the bumblebee. So I thought it was a good toy. It's a little expensive for a toy in my opinion. I think babies learn to crawl on their own, but I thought it was a good investment. And you know, you do what you gotta do, right? So that was a good little toy. Sorry, I look at my notes. But that's pretty much it, I think, for toys. So next, let's just talk about bath time. So for bath time, at first I was just bathing Cinco and drying him off and spraying some detangling spray, and I was like, all is good in the world. But Cinco has a head full of beautiful curls. I just thought he was just too young to kind of have a hair care routine. I was wrong. As I was doing a little bit more research on other YouTubers and things like that, I realized he could use a little bit of conditioner to keep those curls intact. So I wash him with the Shea Moisture baby wash and shampoo. I don't like to use, it's just easier, you know, wash, shampoo, get it all in one bottle. But what I did change from that 6 to 9 month range, just because his hair has grown so much, is I use a conditioner. And the one that I found was this Auntie Jackie's. It says girls. I got a little boy. I don't know why they separate girls from boys, but it is what it is. Soft and sassy, super duper softening conditioner. You're gonna need that if you have a baby like mine that has a head full of good hair. I just want to start off with just good hair, and I want to take care of it. You know, I want him to continue to have a good head of hair and just grow and grow and grow, and I'm just what you need. But that's pretty much it when it comes to, and a good hair cream. It's the hair cream that I have is in his room, and I don't want to go in there and wake him up, but it's just a nice, I'll link it down in the description, but it's a nice little pink. It's not pink lotion. I used to love pink lotion, but it's not pink lotion, but it's nice and pink and soft, and I put it on after he takes a bath, and I'll put it so it makes his curls kind of pop, and it keeps the moisture locked in those curls for the week, so I'm not continually have to spray it or do things like that, just because I don't want to have to do too much because we wake up super early to take him to daycare. So I just want to make things easier. So after bath time routine, I wash, I do the condition, and I put the little pink stuff in there, pink lotion in there. Not pink lotion, but it's a pink lotion. So it can preserve his curls for a couple more days, because we take him a bath I take him a bath every other day. So lastly, it's just miscellaneous items, just things that I think make sense that you may need. It didn't really have a category, but random is this little, what is this? A booger stick. It's from Oogie Boogie. I think it's overpriced for what it is. I think it's like $13, $14 for a booger stick. Something you put up their nose and, take out the boogers. But maybe it's just my child. He has so many damn boogers. I don't know what to do. There's just so many boogers. So this thing, I got it as a gift in my, just when I was pregnant. Someone thought we would need it. They loved it, so they put it in our little gift bag. This is our second one, because you lose these. But these are the best. And not only are they good for boogers, they're good for ear buildup, ear wax. It's another thing you don't think about those. For me, I didn't think about those things when it comes to babies. You just thought they stay clean pretty much all the time, but a little bit of wax, a little bit of dirt does get in their ears and in their nose. So this is a good tool to use. It has two ends. One's for wet boogers, one's for dry boogers. Honestly, I don't know. I can't tell you which one's for wet and which one's for dry. I pretty much just stick it up and see if it works. If it doesn't, flip it around, stick it up, see if that works. That's how it works. But I think this is a really useful tool, probably starting all the way when they're baby babies, like newborns. But I think as he's gotten older, maybe they're just a little bit more pronounced. So we do reach for this a lot. But lastly, I don't have it because he's using it right now, is a glow in the dark pacifier. Because Cinco doesn't use pacifiers throughout the day. The only time he uses a pacifier is when he's going down to bed. So I know a lot of people put a bunch of pacifiers in the crib so the babies can find it and put it in his mouth, blah, 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 blah. We put one pacifier in his crib. When he's teething or when he's just not in a good mood, because he sleeps through the night. He's a blessing. He's been sleeping through the night starting at 3 months. But when he's not sleeping through the night and he's now at the age where he can pop the pacifier out and chuck it across the room, or it falls under his crib and he's crying and crying and crying in the middle of the night, we wake up and we're like, oh my gosh, where is this pacifier? But it's nice when you have a glow in the dark one, you kind of look and it's like, ding, I'm here. So it's nice to have a glow in the dark just for those nights when they do wake up in the middle of the night, because they probably will. And you want to give them their pacifier to soothe them back to sleep. It's good to have something that you can actually see, because we keep his room pretty much dark, like pitch black. And I don't want to turn on a light and actually wake him up from his sleep. I just want to pop his pacifier back in and he falls back asleep. So the glow in the dark pacifiers, we get them from Nook in UK. We feel like those are the best. I feel like those are the best when I've done a little bit of research. But I don't know what other brands have. I'm pretty sure all the brands probably have the glow in the dark ones, but I would suggest glow in the dark pacifiers. But I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all the stuff in a nutshell that I think helped made our lives a little bit easier. I hope they make your life a little bit easier. Just from that 6 to 9 month range. Thank you for watching. I feel like this is going to be a long video. But thank you so much for watching. If you would like, subscribe, and if you want more videos like this, just let me know. I love talking about babies. I love talking about motherhood. That's my passion. But that's it. And so hopefully I will get with you guys next week. Thank you and have a great day.